Hello, ladies, gentlemen, assorted other genders supported by the cybernetic construct sold to you by various megacorporations. Welcome to Shadowrun in the Sprawl. This is part of KiwiRPG's 7 days of streaming, where I, Crow, the MC, will be taking a group of intrepid cyberpunk operatives through the Dalian Data Tomb, a module I have written. We will be playing in Shadowrun in the Sprawl, a adaptation of Hamish Cameron's The Sprawl game to support the setting and fiction of the acclaimed Shadowrun 6th World setting. Shadowrun is set in 2075. It is a setting full of magic, of the fantastical, of orcs, trolls, elves, fireballs, and dragons. But it is also a cyberpunk future, a future in which 10 mega corporations, corporate entities with more power, money, and often soldiers than any actual nation, control the world. They have nothing to fight over but themselves. And so where they cannot openly attack or sabotage or kidnap, they use operatives, deniable, disposable, mostly professional Shadowrunners. They are almost always desperate, but the payouts that are piddly little scraps to corporations can change the lives of those who really need the money. This is the world of Shadowrun, and we shall be watching some Shadowrunners play out tonight. So, some streamy stuff before we get into it. We have a number of giveaways going on. Please watch the Twitch chat as the bots will be shouting out for things to be given away. And yeah, I think we just get right into it. Our game opens with a realization that we don't actually know how these three operatives know each other. So how about we have a quick introduction of each of our operatives, a description from each of our operatives, and possibly some thoughts about how you know each other. Let's go to Frank Stout.
Hi, I'm Frank Stout. I am a reporter. I work for the Gazette Digital Live Plus service. I'm an orc. I am sort of middle-aged, sort of a greyish green, very sort of sickly, sort of hunched and small for an orc. Not physically, but in presence. And like I said, I am playing the reporter playbook. And I'm not entirely sure how I would have met these people, but I'm guessing it was for work. Basically, I'm guessing it was like I met them in the course of speaking to witnesses for something, or in the course of investigating a story.
Excellent. You have done some operations with them before, so you're not total strangers. So, moving on, we have Asher. Could you give a quick introduction and description of your character?
Yeah, so Asher is a gaunt and pallid elf who's covered in drapery and has a rather impassive face. I'm using the Awakened playbook, so he's a shaman. And he has bad history with the PR company Horizon. One point, he did do a run with Beowulf, who is Hamish's character. I probably shouldn't just name drop him before he's even mentioned.
Everyone knows who Beowulf is, man.
Right. Yeah, so together we were sent off to steal a cargo truck, and this was not stealing from Horizon, but it happened that we needed to drive the cargo truck directly through a PR event that Horizon was holding at the time, and they made note of that. So we're not on their good books now.
Yes, Horizon is notably one of the big 10 AAA mecha corporations, so it's more like being hated by France in terms of scale of what kind of entity you've annoyed. And our third operative, our third Shadowrunner tonight, Beowulf.
All right, so I'm playing Beowulf. Beowulf uses he, him pronouns. He is a sort of a thin guy of average height. He's white-skinned. He's got twitchy eyes. He wears corporate gear, but repurposed with sort of like furs and things, bits of like chainmail, because he is, of course, elite hacker. Nobody is as good in the Matrix as Beowulf. He is hot shit, and he wants everybody to know it. Seda Krupp are after me, but I don't care, because no dragon can catch me. I'm the Dragon Slayer.
Excellent. So, you've all been contacted by a individual that's known to all of you as, well, a variety of names, but they operate as your fixer. They help you get jobs. They, talk to corporate people who want jobs done. They match Shadowrunners and people with, quite illegal jobs together. And so you all get a message on your comlinks. Chummer, I got a job. Total milk run. Now, if you want more details, you'll come to the 5th floor of the office building at 14th Street 2 hours from now. So, how do all of you react? What kind of stuff are you taking? You're off to meet somebody in about 2 hours' time to get a job. So, how does all your prep look for that? Do you just rock down or what?
I'm assuming it's the evening. Nothing in cyberpunk happens during the day, right?
Just for you, it's 10 a.m.
Okay. I shoot a Slack message to my boss informing him that I will be taking lunch in 2 hours. And I will be unavailable for about an hour from then. Other than that, I don't really have any prep to do. Most of my gear is on my body or in my little satchel most of the time, so I will probably just walk down when it's time.
Asher drags himself out of bed, having only just woken up, gets into the normal everyday garb, which is the same random drapery he uses for shadow running. Surprising no one's picked up on that on security cameras at any point yet. And he's just about to go out the door when he realizes that he's forgotten something. He turns back and goes back to his bedroom, rummages through the drawers, rummages through his wardrobe, looks under the bed, eventually finds just a pile of flashbangs and hooks them to his belt and then walks up.
So just to clarify, you're just going to walk around essentially downtown with a string of flashbangs hanging off your belt.
He's wearing a lot of drapery. They're concealed.
He lives on the edge.
We're going to worry about that after we find out what Beowulf's doing.
Beowulf, he gets the call, finishes up whatever he's doing. He takes a swig of his cold coffee, grimaces a little. Steps
You can
away.
afford coffee?
Well,
soy calf.
Yeah. But he likes the dream. He likes to think it's coffee. And yeah, heads for the door of his tiny apartment, which I imagine is kind of like Bruce Willis's apartment in The Fifth Element. So basically, a long a long wardrobe with a bed. I think, yeah, Beowulf never goes anywhere without his deck. So, puts his deck on a sling over his shoulder, shrugs on his long armored coat, and heads down to the underground parking lot of his building, where his flashy motorcycle is, and then through the streets, imagining he looks like Akira.
Excellent. So, Asher, as you're about to walk out the door, you realise 14th Street is downtown. Downtown, where the security is actually quite good, where things like olfactory sensors are installed on the drones because the corpo wave slaves have this weird thing about explosives being carried around. Are you sure you want to take around like a string of flashbangs to the meet?
I'll say no to that. I'll let you have this one for now.
Chad wants you to take the bombs.
They're only flashbangs. They're not like real bombs. So, you all head down to 14th Street. So, downtown is tall skyscrapers. We're talking, don't bother if you're coming with less than 50 floors of office space. We're talking big augmented reality projected advertising. There's nothing subtle. This is a assault on the senses by capitalism, and capitalism has a bat with nails in it. You are being advertised everything. If you don't have like a good quality comm link with strong spam filters, oh my goodness, you're just getting like ping, 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 ping in your augmented reality views. If you turn augmented reality off, like if you take off your AR glasses or unplug your, or like, none of you have, actually, who has cyber eyes? I think Frank has cyber eyes. Oh yeah, no, Frank, you're screwed. Yeah.
I work in downtown as well, so I do. I would like to think I have spam filters.
Yeah, well, I was going to say if you turn off augmented reality, which you can't, you've got the spam filters on, but you can't actually turn off AR. You just see this like concrete. It's just dreary. Like they haven't put any effort into actually like making anything less than like grime, soot, concrete, and glass, because they know that like real things exist in AR where you can be advertised to. But you get to the office building at 14th Street. You also like see each other coming as you like walk up to the front door of the office building. As you walk in, the lobby's empty. It's not like nice, but it's sort of, I would like one standard lino-floored office reception. There's a automated information system that shows you the tenants of each of the floors of the office building. But apart from that, nobody around. If you wander over to the automated information system, it like shows up in AR that the 5th level is currently being renovated between tenants. So what do the three of you do?
Were we told what floor to go to?
5th.
Okay. Then I guess we just go, or I would just go straight to the elevator. Or no, the stairs.
Right. Frank is suspicious already. Good start.
Or no, the thing about cyberpunk is I just have this sneaking suspicion that there's a charge on using the elevator in buildings you don't work or live in.
Wow. That is so cynical. I love it. I love it so much.
So he goes for the stairs every time.
Also, Horizon might dock his pay if he doesn't get his steps in.
I don't work for Horizon, I work for the other one.
Oh, you work for the other one, sorry.
I reckon Frank's got like, he's on his company corporate elevator subscription account. Yeah, it's worse than like quitting your job and losing healthcare. It's if you quit this job, you have to use the stairs all the time.
Yeah.
So, the three of you without apparently exchanging words, or just like look at each other, give each other like cool guy looks,
Yeah.
and walk up to the fifth floor. It is open. It is bare walls, structural steel, concrete floor. There's a few little scraps of like drywall and a few odd electrical cables hanging around that have been terminated off. You see 3 people though. There is a man of indeterminate age, ethnicity, and status. Sort of what you would get if you took somebody normal and like scrubbed them so that they were blurry. But there's almost his only identifying feature is his difficulty to identify. Yep. However, he is flanked by 2 very identifiable individuals. One is a huge, hulking, cybernetically augmented troll. This is a massive person, this troll. He's probably near 2.5, 2 3/4 meters tall. He's probably at least 1.5 meters wide. And he's got the kind of muscles that like just scream, no, he is not powered by meat, he is powered by machinery. Which stands in stark contrast to the person on the other side of the indeterminate man, a dwarf. She's probably only about 4 feet tall, 1.2 meters, but she's got like mystical patterns tattooed into her face. Ash, you can just feel like the energies around her already. And if you start looking, like you can start picking out a couple of the runes on her face and you're like, oh. So, congratulations, you've met Mr. Johnson and his retainers. He waits for you to, like, walk up. How do you start the conversation?
I was out of character. Am I the face of this party?
That's a good question.
You're the reporter, so this is the Sprawl, so it doesn't have such strict roles as standard Shadowrun, and everybody can do social stuff to a degree, but also kind of yes.
Okay. Cool. Sick. Wonderful. We've worked with, have we worked with Mr. Johnson before?
No, this is well, you've worked for individuals called Mr. Johnson before, but that's sort of the joke. They're all Mr. Johnson. So you have not seen this particular one before.
Do they all have the blurry thing going on?
No, he's not blurry. He's indistinguishable.
Right.
So you're like, he is somewhere between 18 and 55. He is somewhere between albino and very dark-skinned. And he's somewhere between poor and ultra-rich.
Okay.
And that's about as close as you can get it.
Interesting. Very interesting. I sort of like wipe my hands down on my pants like they're sweaty and walk forwards as though to shake hands. Just a casual business meeting approach.
As you walk forward nervously, Mr. Johnson smiles and opens his arms, like hands out by his, like, about waist high, hands up. You can't see how I'm acting at the moment, it's fine. And he says, hello, let's be brief. Dalian Datatomb has just gone into receivership. They are located a few blocks from here and currently are being liquidated. I'm willing to pay for one specific information. Who was the recipient of shipping order 81218451?
That's a long number.
81218451. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to go. Is that everything? Drop off point back here?
Ah, the drop-off point, yes. So, I need you to leave a data chip with the information in locker 931 in the metro station closest to this location. Come one
And
day later for the cred stick, if I approve.
what kind of cred stick are we talking?
Ah, straight onto the money. I like it. I
You
will
said
be
you wanted
off.
to be brief.
Brief, yes, but well, I am offering 5,000 new yen per character. Well, for each of you, you're all characters, aren't you?
He's got us there. Sized us up already.
Yeah. It's been in the business a while.
So your characters would know that 5,000 new yen is, a decent amount of money. It's not quite buy a new car, but 10,000 new yen would buy you a cheap new car.
Okay, so like $5,000 real money.
Yeah, kind of. It's a good couple of months' rent on like a good apartment. Half a year or more on a shitty one.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Look to the other two.
Sounds easy enough.
I need it.
I look back. Nod. Deal.
Excellent. And so we come to our first bit of mechanics for the game. The Sprawl uses a wonderful move called Get the Job. And so, as Frank has been the one mostly talking, Frank gets to roll it.
Yay.
When you negotiate the terms of a job, roll edge. So, as Frank works that out, for our audience, the Sprawl, being a Powered by the Apocalypse game, has discrete little bundles of mechanics for the players called moves. They have trigger phrases, and so whenever the phrase of the move is triggered by the fiction, the mechanics of the move come into play.
Okay, so the good news is that I have a +2 at edge. The bad news is that I rolled a 4.
So
Including the +2?
you have rolled a 6 or less.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
See,
Let's
because
roll the game.
Perfect start. Let's
yeah,
go.
excellent, good start. Because because this is a one shot, I hadn't bothered about advancement, so I hadn't bothered to look up if you get XP for rolling a miss. But excellent, thank you. But you have rolled a 6 or less, and for our audience, a 6 or less on any dice roll means you don't get what you attempted to do. And I instead make what is called a MC move, which just is really a thing to make your life harder.
Yay. Love my life to be hard.
I think I'll just do something really easy. I think the troll is going to rumble out, I've seen you on TV. Oh, yeah, like I've seen you on Hollow TV. As I advance the legwork clock.
Yep.
Kind of give Frank a bit of side eye.
Yep, that's how I work. I get in places because I'm supposed to be there.
All right. Mr. Johnson gives the troll a bit of a you weren't supposed to talk look, but then nods and walks out towards the elevator. The dwarf follows him, and the troll remains there, and he says, "You lot will be sitting here with me for a few minutes." As Mr. Johnson heads to the elevator with the dwarf, and the doors close, bing.
That's fine. We take the stairs anyway.
What, like right now?
No, that's what I'm saying to the troll.
Yes, you say that.
Well, that's fine then. The troll, clearly has like some countdown in his AR that you can't see, and after 5 minutes and 1 second goes, "All right, you three, off you go." And he starts walking towards the elevator, and like he probably weighs a couple of 100 kilograms. The floor vibrates a little bit with each of his steps. He has to duck down into the elevator, but like if you look clearly, you can see some scratches on the lintel. Like clearly trolls have butted their horns on this elevator lintel before. And the three of you are left in this...
It's all right. We'll get the next one.
Oh, there's a bank of them, but the three of you are left in this unfurnished, unbuilt out office floor where now you have to realize, well, we've got a job to do.
Did he give a time limit?
That'd be a really good question to have asked Mr. Johnson, who has already left.
Yeah. So he didn't give a time limit. He might have one in mind, but he didn't tell us.
No.
That's all good.
All right.
Let's get this money quick.
Yeah. Do we know where the business that's going into liquidation is?
Ah.
Or where their headquarters are, rather.
Well, it's a few blocks from here, but do you have any way of learning information?
A couple. Let me look at my stuff.
Is there a can I okay. My first instinct was to ask if there's a data jack around here that I can plug in, but I
absolutely there is. There is just like a data jack, but let's be clear about this data jack. This data jack is not like a nice data jack set up with a nice chair at an office desk. No, there's a data cable hanging down past some steel framing, and it's just like hanging in midair on the end of the cable.
Yeah, Beowulf's not precious about that.
Sure. Excellent.
But I think I will put on an adapter so I don't have to plug that directly into my
like one of those toilet seat covers for public loos.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Excellent. So you want to plug into the data jack? Cool. What's your aim here? What are you going to be doing?
I'm just going to look around for some information, try and get an address on this place, see if I can maybe find some. I don't know. Find their system. See if they have a system that's online and potentially accessible for later. That kind of stuff.
Cool. So that sounds like you're going to be doing a research on using just the general matrix as your source of information.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to roll plus mind and possibly ask some questions from the list below.
Yep, which I have in front of me. Okay, mind is +1, and that is 9 + 1, 10. Good. All right.
So technically you should have asked the question first, but whatever.
Oh, right, true. Sorry.
Yeah, so what question are you asking me? Where would I find Dalian Data Tome?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that one. Yep, start with that.
Cool.
Yep.
So I will answer your question. You take Intel. Intel is a meta currency used in the Sprawl. It represents a black box of information which you can pull out later to be just the stuff you needed. It's great. There are two other meta currencies that function similarly. There is Gear, a bag of stuff, and Arcana, magic hoodoo. So, where would you find Dalian Data Tome? You get an exact address. It is a couple of blocks from here. Dalian Data Tome is a unrated data vault corp. It is on the 8th through 12th floors of the office building at the address that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to ask a follow-up question from the list.
How secure is Dalian Data Tome's matrix system?
There isn't one. They're actually surprising, like every corp. Like a hole-in-the-wall fry joint has a matrix system. So there's no matrix system for the Dalian data tomb.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Does that seem like they have no matrix at all, like it might have already been shut down, or could it be that they have one but it's completely air gapped and inaccessible from the outside?
There's a bunch of like dead links, so it suggests that maybe there was one
right.
that's possibly been taken offline or shut down or something. Like there was one,
yeah,
but now there's not.
All right, shit.
Would my workplace, being local news, have been writing about a business like this shutting down going into liquidation, maybe in our financial section?
So I don't know if you like know that right off the top of your head. So you're either going to have to get access to your publications archives or ask somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Frank was planning on going back to work anyway, at least for now, while we do the. So if. I think I turned to the others. I go, I should head back to the office. I'll research and get whatever I can back to you from there. If you need me on foot, I'll show up.
Let's meet up again this evening and go over what we've found.
Yep.
Sounds completely reasonable. And so,
do you got a good place to meet, Asher? You have any cool joints around here?
Downtown? Not really.
Yeah, nothing in downtown is cool. It's all corporate. It's the kind of bar where you get charged 25 new yen for the kind of imitation synthahol that claims to have citrus notes. I don't think any of you have actually ever tasted a fruit. It's the kind of place where you get seen at if you're the kind of person who has no soul and works a 8 till 7 corporate job for enough money that you think that you've made it, but in reality you're 2 weeks away from missing a mortgage payment.
That's a good point. Frank, do you know anywhere good around here?
Frank knows like 4 of these bars off the top of his head.
Yeah, but I think Frank also knows that those bars are surveilled to hell. Is there a I was actually thinking, is there a park?
I was gonna say there's probably like a corporate park with a single tree somewhere.
Yeah, there's absolutely.
Hang on. Is there a beer garden?
No, because see what the bars are like. Somebody had gone in with a Shadowrunner team and shot up the beer garden, so it closed. There is a park. It is well lit. It has 2 very bored security officers who stand in one corner, mostly to stop teenage delinquents spray painting it. It is considered a very nice park because it has imitation pigeons.
I fucking hate parks. Let's go to one of those shitty bars. I'll find a place. I'll message you. We'll meet up.
I think I'd flick like the bars that I regularly go to through like just their names and be like, one of these is probably okay. There's surveillance, but it's they turn a blind eye to a lot of things. It just depends on how nice you're dressed. So if either of you have at least an imitation of business casual, it might help.
Well, so the 3 of you split up and Frank goes back to work where at, like a bit of downtime in the afternoon, he hits up his corpse archives. So, Frank, this sounds like you're doing a research move.
It does, doesn't it?
So, what question are you asking?
I am looking at the wrong page. Let me look at here. Oh my gosh, where is it? Sorry, I should have looked at where all the moves were before I...
Research is mind, if you're looking for that.
So, research. When you investigate a person, place, or object or service using a library, dossier, or database, ask a question from the list below.
Yeah.
Where would I find blank? How secure is blank? Who or what is related to blank? Who owned or employed blank? Who or what is blank most valuable to? What is the relationship between blank and blank?
Okay. I think who owned or employed I don't remember the name of the company.
Alien Data Tomb.
Alien Data Tomb. Like who I want to know who their investors were. I want to know who they're selling to in liquidation.
Absolutely fine, sure. So that's roll plus mind.
That's more like it. That's an 11.
Nice.
As an 11, I will answer your question. You take another point of intel. So, Alien Data Tomb is a unrated corporation that held basically data for whoever walked up. It was basically a safety deposit box for information. It, however, has lost some business, expenses went up, and essentially became financially unviable and was placed into receivership and is being liquidated.
Okay, so they were sold. I can't get any information on sort of like where they got their where it started. Are they owned by? They're not owned by one of the megacorps, as far as I can tell.
They're not directly owned by any megacorp. I mean, they're probably owned by a variety of small-time investors, original founders, pension funds, exchange-traded funds, like 100,000 little investors.
Right. So, and has there been any like how popular has this liquidation been? Like, are people buying up pieces of them pretty happily, or are they struggling to sell things off?
So the Daily Data Tomb was a mostly virtual company. So the information is probably quite valuable, but you don't know any details of that. The other liquidation is mostly like breaking down the offices and selling those off, and those have been going. There's a lively second-hand market for used office furniture.
Yeah, and office space as well. Like, that's just real estate.
Yeah.
That is cool. So there's no obvious patterns in that, and like, oh, looks like a lot of it's been going to one business or anything like that. No speculation about it in the financial news or anything like that.
No, not really.
Okay.
However, as a 10 plus, you get to ask a follow-up question.
In the obvious question is, who or what is related to. I want like some point of like not human connection necessarily, because let's not be specific, but like one point of looking for like an angle that's, if I'm thinking of this as a story, I'm looking for an angle like somebody I could do a profile on or pretend to be doing a profile on, that would get me in there.
So that sounds like, where would I find somebody in authority?
Yeah, actually, that's a good
question
idea.
I can answer. So, yeah, you do a little bit of digging and you get a name. You get Julian Andrews, who is the receivership overseer. It was noted, just like as a one-line throwaway, Julian Andrews has been appointed to oversee the liquidation of the Daily and Data Tomb.
Does his name hyperlink?
No. No, your professional senses are just like, oh, they happened to name the wage slave that they're sending to this job.
Okay. Cool.
So Frank's busy for a lot of the afternoon, exploiting company resources and committing wage theft. Good on you, Frank. What is Asher and Beowulf up to?
I think Asher might have gone down to the area to summon a city spirit.
Ooh, we're doing magic.
Do a little recon with it.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. So, you are going to be using one of your playbook moves, Summon Spirits, am I correct?
Yeah.
So, you go down and you start summoning up a spirit. What does this look like? What does Ash's shamanistic summoning of spirits involve?
There's a lot of it's sort of very gestural, but he's trying to do it covertly, and it's the kind of thing where, you know how Nintendo Wii games are like, oh, they expect you to swing the racket around, but actually you can just go like this. It's that sort of thing where he's just doing the smallest possible gestures that he can in order to fulfill this required movements for the ritual.
All right, so you will take Drain and roll Style.
Yes, so my style is 0.
Cool.
And that's a 6.
Okay. One moment while I remember what Drain is. Alright, that's right. Drain is harm, but you can't heal it.
Yeah.
So this sucks for you. You essentially take a point of harm, so increase your harm clock. And I'll have a quick check to see if there's anything interesting that happens on taking harm. Oh, yes, there is. You roll plus harm suffered, so you get to roll plus 0. Because I'm counting it as stun, so... Yeah, so roll plus 0.
That's a 5.
Well, in that case, it's fine. But you still got a miss on the summoning spirits. So you unfortunately don't get what you wanted out of the spirit. But a spirit does turn up. It turns up and it sort of looks at you. It's cloudy like a exhaust plume. It's got chip packets in it. It's got like a mockery of augmented reality neon advertising instead of a face. It looks up at you because it's about 2 feet tall, and it looks up at you and says, "What do you want?"
Are you able to go into that building over there and do some reconnaissance for me?
Yeah, sure. And it wanders off.
Kind of feel like I should have been more specific with my instructions now. Don't really trust this spirit.
It wanders off, and a couple of minutes later, there's like an echo in your magical senses. Kind of like the magical equivalent of something walking into some high voltage power lines and turning into nothing more than a lightning zap and a greasy smell.
That's definitely a familiar sensation.
You wait a bit more. You wait like an hour, and whatever you summoned hasn't come back. So I'm advancing the legwork clock. As well, there's some magical defenses at least.
Just as well we've got a mage.
Well, Beowulf.
All right, it's time to. I need to find out what's going on with this. Where the databases actually are. It might be that they've just been taken offline, but I want to try and confirm that. So I think I want to go to a contact. I want to go to a tech that I know, somebody who knows hardware.
Awesome. So you're using the move Declare a Contact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have a name that you'd like this contact to have?
Let's. No, I don't like that. Let's call him Sparky.
Sparky. Excellent.
A bit on the nose, but there we go.
So, you've declared a contact.
Yep.
And now you'd like to hit the street to ask them some questions, correct?
Yeah, so I call up Sparky.
Hey, what up?
Hey, Sparky, I've got a... Did you hear about Dalian Data Tomb?
What do you
know
know?
anything about them?
What do you want to know?
Well, I was trying to find their matrix system, and it seems to be offline.
Okay.
They must have had one, so I don't know if it's what's up with that.
So at this point, you have to roll style.
Oh yeah, styles plus 0. That is a 4. That is a 6. Good times.
So Sparky looks at you and goes, "You want to know about that, eh?"
Yeah. What do you got?
I got a few things, but it's gonna be a bit of a problem, eh?
What's the problem?
There's some little rats and mice hanging around. If you're doing a job, it sounds like you're doing a job.
Yeah,
I want you to go shoot them up.
Wait, you want me to shoot up some vermin?
They're called the data liberators.
The people you want me to shoot up?
Yeah.
I'm not really the guy for that sort of.
Do you want the information or not?
I want the information. Okay, I want the information. Yeah, okay. Give it to me, Sparky. I'll do it.
Cool. They're called the data liberators. They're currently hanging around the Dalian Data Tomb. And they're bad for business. Yeah, physically.
Huh.
They're a bunch of information should be whatever. Point is, they're bad for business. My business, your business, Dalian Data Tomb's business. Shoot them up.
Okay.
Got it? Cool. So, yeah, no, Dalian Data Tomb, they cut the hard things. So you're going to have to get on site physically.
Okay.
They had a lot of stuff in there, man. It was a data vault company, so
yeah.
They're probably still going through it.
Do you know who's Who did that? Is the liquidators or
Yeah,
something?
liquidators would have cut the hard links
Yeah,
so
okay.
that they can avoid having people like you and me, raid them. Because easy and good pickings, mate.
Yeah, because data should be free and all that.
No, it shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it should cost money, I suppose.
Yeah. All right.
But it should be free from corporate control.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Sparky.
All right. Catch you around. So now what?
All right, I'm going to flick the others a message. I still don't know where we want to meet up. I don't want to meet at that park. I'm just going to pick the most saccharine-looking, plastic-looking corporate lunch spot that's still open, kind of late. I want like the 2070 version of like a Starbucks.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep, and if I remember my Shadowrun lore better, there would absolutely be like the official lore
Oh yeah, there is
one. I can't remember it. Oh, it's
Starbucks.
Soy Bucks. No, it's Soy Bucks. That's it.
Soy Bucks. Okay.
Yeah, it's Soy Bucks.
All right, so I'll be like Soy Bucks. There's just a message that says like Soy Bucks 15th and B,
Yep.
whatever. And then I will go there and I'll order myself something kind of average on the menu, not ridiculous, and I'll go sit and I'll wait for these two.
You get yourself a soy calf with imitation lactose.
Yay.
Can I ask, did you find any business casual, or are we still in leather down here?
No, well, my wear is kind of like business anyway. It's like corporate wear, but
Yeah, but cooler.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Beowulf thinks.
Yeah.
So I definitely am like I'm standing out, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's mid-afternoon in downtown. Like you need to have like speakers blazing sound and big AR to even like really stand out. You're just a bit weird.
Yeah.
I'm
Like people out on the street are just a bit weird at the moment. It's fine.
Yeah.
So the three of you meet up in this Soy Bucks. As you sit down, there's like three corporate guys in suits discussing their next big venture. There is like what would be the 2075 version of like an unemployed hipster writing a novel on his comlink in AR. So he's like tapping on the table and looking into the middle distance, stuff like that. So the three of you get like a table down the back where it's relatively quiet. And now, what you going to talk about?
All right, so what do we got? I'm pretty sure that their whole system has been taken offline, so we'll have to just go up there for me to hack in.
Okay.
What do you guys found out?
Well, I was working on getting the floor plan, but looks like they've got some magic defenses in there. Seems to have fried the summon I sent in. Literally fried.
Would that mess with us or just with spirits?
That might be a question for the GM.
That might be an answer you have if you didn't roll a miss.
That's true.
Cool.
Well, I know the name of the guy who's overseeing the receivership. We could use that somehow to get us in. Either get him somehow to turn off the defenses, let us in legitimately for our illegitimate business, or they're selling off their chairs. We go in to buy some chairs.
Yeah.
Or we use the system to convince the system somehow that we are him, and or something like that. I don't know how the defenses tech stuff works, or maybe magic stuff, both.
Why don't we could try and set up a meet with him, and then he could like. So you could try and contact him and see if he would meet us there.
Well, no, these guys do everything remote. I could send him an email.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I saw the listing for, this set of whatever. Go in. But we can only pick them up tonight. Can you let down the defenses for like just 5 minutes and we'll pop in and get them?
Yeah, I think we need to know more about these defenses. But you could try that. You could try and call them. It just occurred to me I didn't check out the system of the building itself. But also, we could just walk in there.
It's absolutely something you could do. So, do the characters have a plan? Or better, do the characters have a next course of action? Given it's like 4:30... So you got like a good 90 minutes before the wage slaves all get off work.
If I'm going to send an email, I'm going to do it in the next hour and a half.
Possibly.
Not going to answer a thing like that outside of business hours unless he's really dedicated to the job.
Yeah, you could send Julian Andrews a comm link message.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think I'd like to do that.
And what do you say?
I will... First of all, I will use some sort of, like, proxy email account, not, like, my direct...
I don't think you have a proxy email account.
I have encrypted communications equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you do have a proxy email account.
Thank you. That's in my gear. Thank you.
Impression of Frank moving up.
Yeah, you got like end-to-end encryption, and like that's impressive. And like 7 proxies and shit. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would... Yeah, so I'd like to use one of those accounts that I use for like contacting people anonymously. Like, and I would like to say, on behalf of another local business, I've been asked to make an offer on the furniture from your location at the address, and but unfortunately I will be out of town from tomorrow. Is there a chance I could pick it up after hours today? I've got everything I need, just need to let me in there.
Alright. So you send that off and you wait a minute or two. And then your comlink starts ringing.
My regular one?
No, like the virtual comlink number and account that you have associated with that burner email address.
Okay. I will answer it. Hello?
Hello? This is Julian Andrews. I don't think your name was attached to your com message, but your comlink code was. You were talking about purchasing furniture?
Yeah. What do you need?
Well, I've currently got a group of labourers who are disassembling a standard office cubicle for a layout. So since you're clearly familiar with what that entails, You can basically come and pick it up as long as the money checks out overnight.
Okie dokie. What are you charging?
For this office layout for a 15,000 yen.
All right, I will take that number back to my employers and I will send it your way if all's good. I'll send you a courtesy note if we can't make it work.
All right. You were picking it up this evening, right?
Yes, if we that's all right with you.
Absolutely, yes. We'll just have a standard clause that we will send chargebacks your way if the money doesn't clear, and we'll retrieve our goods. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You'll probably need a good couple of truckloads. It's all disassembled, but it's still on the office floors. I'll be in the office till 6, but I could be around later.
All right, good to know. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
And then she hangs up.
Perfect. All right, it's expensive.
Well, assuming we were never planning on paying anyway, we at least have a legitimate way into the building. If not, if we want to pursue this angle,
We also know who's in the building.
Yep. Well, okay. It must be safe, at least for human beings, to enter that building, regardless of what happened to that spirit, because there are people in there working right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, potentially, that could be key to some sort of identifier.
Could be.
But because he didn't give me one and just expected me to show up out of the blue, I'm guessing probably not.
No, she didn't give you one.
Oh, sorry. She.
So, if we just go in, we only have to be in there for a short time. I got a high speed interface. I can get a lot of data real quick. So as long as we can get me into a data jack, I can find the stuff quick, I think.
I think also we should aim to go a bit after Julian leaves.
Okay.
That way, if it does take a little longer or we have to physically jack you in or something.
Well, I will have to physically jack in inside.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't want to be there while everybody's working. But I did say I'd be going in this evening, so and I did say after hours in my email, so they'll be expecting that. Shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
So,
do we need to? Is there anything else we need before we go in here?
I'm just wondering if there would be a way for us to know when everyone's left.
this is quite a large office tower, so no.
The floor we're specifically looking for, I guess.
We're looking
more
for
floors.
4 floors, though.
Right, true.
Yeah. Well, not if their matrix system was up, then yeah, I could hack into it, but it's not. So I can't. But it is down, so that suggests that there won't be good security there, or the normal surveillance system might be down, maybe.
I mean,
or at least
you could always go for
the
the
internal
building matrix system.
Off-site.
Good. All right. Well, why don't? Is there anything? Like, I'm ready to go, and it's basically just around the corner. Is there anything else you guys need to pick up from your apartments or whatever before we bust in there, or maybe I'll just hack into the building system while you get ready, if so.
No, I'm good.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. You didn't want those flashbangs, Bex?
Well, if we want to go loud/bright,
Wow, you know how things go.
don't remind me of the Horizon fiasco.
Definitely.
All right. Is there a data jack in this soy box?
Data jacks are for paying customers only. Yes.
So you paid.
All right.
Yeah, you did.
I did pay.
Sorry, Crow. When I was talking to Julian on the phone, does that count as using my move press pass?
Ooh.
Which is if you reveal your... I suppose I didn't reveal my public persona.
No.
To fast talk my way in.
No, because you very definitely used one of your burner comlink addresses.
I did, didn't I? Oh well.
I mean, you could always just rock up and be like, Julian Andrews, I'm Frank Stout of Blur.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, if we just roll in like that.
Yeah, just imply like, yeah, because the thing is, it automatically 10 plus, so to get me in. And I take intel, but it does also advance the legwork clock.
Because
it's all a question of what you want to do.
We need to get inside. I need to hack the system.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to give me enough time to hack the system. Basically, right? As far as Beowulf sees it, anyway, that's what we need. Who knows what's in there, right? It's going to be complicated, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll get complicated because it's far too simple so far.
Well,
I'll quickly hack the building system from here.
All right, cool. So you can absolutely plug your cyber deck into the data jack on the Soybox table, and I can go to the Matrix chapter. Look, I read up on it before.
I mean, it could just be. Well, yeah. It depends how complicated you want to get.
Well, it depends on what you want to do.
I guess I just want to suss out like what the sort of situation is. So it could just be like an assess or a research or something, or assess probably. I guess. Yeah, I could like just sort of digitally, like scope it out. Snoop around.
You could absolutely do a digital assess on the building that you're targeting. Absolutely.
No, I cannot. Apparently. So I get a 3. Oh wait, plus edge. I get a 4. So that's great. Maybe these fancy, like super cool dice should get shelved.
So, as you're sitting there in the soy box, like you're typing away, when like the Soybucks corporate matrix filter pops up, goes, user, you have entered one or more illegal search terms. Please remain at your table. Please do not resist. Please await night security.
All right, we got to bail. Let's bounce. I'm aiming for the door.
Okay, so Beowulf just like hard out jacks and like starts walking towards the door. And like Beowulf, you can see like in the AR of the door, and the rest of you can see this as well. Please remain in Swedbuck's illegal criminal.
I dislike this.
Oh.
Like none of the wage slaves are like moving to arrest you or anything. They do not get paid enough, but like Soybucks corporate has gone, you're scum. Because you tripped their matrix filter.
Yep. I'm heading out of here.
Cool. The three of you bounce out onto the street and I'll advance the legwork clock.
Let's just roll in. This is a nightmare.
Oh.
I hate downtown.
Oh, you know what's great about the legwork clock? We're now at 2100, which advances the action clock.
Just like, let's just get it.
Okay.
All right. So it's about 5 p.m. It's starting to get a bit dark. All the smog in the air is cutting down the evening light to even worse. So the glow of neon is like casting these weird pink, blue, orange, yellow highlights over everything. Yeah, and the three of you are going to do what?
Start walking towards the target, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's pretty easy. Like, despite the alerts that you managed to trigger in Soapbox, like, nobody's running after you or anything, so the three of you can totally just walk it down a couple of blocks to where the Dalian Data Tomb's building is.
I'm guessing that as soon as you leave Soybuck's property, they no longer care that you did a little crime if you weren't actually doing it against them.
They probably just think it was like some script kiddie.
Soybucks don't have
police-
extraterritoriality, so they technically you committed the crime on whatever land of whatever megacorp owns the building, so really nobody cares.
Yeah.
It'd be up to like essentially mercenary police groups like Knight Errant to deal with that, and
Yes,
that
and
implies
that
that only something would happen if someone was paying them to.
Yes,
go
you were informed you were to await for Knight Errant. Yes. In the world of Shadowrun, for our audience, there is no such thing as the police run by the government. There is corporations like Knight Errant and Lone Star Security, which would be like if BlackRock mercenaries had a profit incentive to do policing. Yeah. So, it's worse than it sounds. It really
It
is.
sounds pretty bad.
It's worse.
Yeah, and it's worse.
Yeah. So, as the three of you get close to this building, you notice, like, hanging around the building, a bunch of really weird-looking types, okay? And when I say weird, I mean they've all got... what, almost like a uniform on? Yeah. So, they're, like, a dozen or so people... mostly younger, mostly human orcs, like a troll and an elf sort of thing. And as you look, they've got this like scratch-built electronics that they're all carrying. Like, you know, Beowulf, you see stuff like this. It's like what people build before they build their first real data cyber deck. And like they've got polo shirts, like Best Buy polo shirts almost, but not like quite as corporate branded, but that kind of level of shitty big box electronics store. But also like denim jackets with like patches on them. Yeah.
Can I turn on the recording on my CyberEye and get a...
Absolutely. You can just go, you can just think it and it's recording.
All right.
Like, you just get a little like red dot up in the corner of your vision that's like recording and like a time counter.
And did Beowulf tell us about the deal he made with his... No? Okay. I just want to, get a scope of these guys in case it's useful later.
Do these people look like... I mean, have I heard of this group, the Data Liberators? And if so, do these look like them?
Like, I'm sure that Sparky would have given you like a... Yeah, no, they've got this like weird pseudo-corpo gang fashion crossover going on. And they're in the area. I mean, so this fits the location and description.
Yeah. What are they doing? Are they just hanging around outside in that classic, like, yeah, we're just leaning against this wall here?
Yeah, but they're also like any wage slaves who walk too close to like get up in their face and like, you're working for the corpos, man. What you doing holding the data? And like the wage slaves have to like shuffle past. It's not quite a mugging, but it's gang shit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's ignore them.
All right. So what you doing?
Seeing as we had to leave, we were hanging out early, and I don't really want to spend time around these folk.
Who are you talking about?
Riff-raff.
Lovely and vague.
Shall we just head on in?
Yeah.
And risk the
Yep.
face-to-face. All right.
Yeah, you talk your way in. I'll break off and hack at some point.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got it.
So the three of you walk in the main entrance to the tower block. As is usual, the main entrance is up a short flight of stairs from the roadway, preventing ram raids. And you walk through a small courtyard set with shrubs. And once you go into the main entrance, you'll find you're in a lobby. It's not overly nice and it's not overly shabby. Like, it's a nicer lobby than the office tower where you had the meet. And definitely more secure as you walk in and you see like four security guards. They're in like shirts with like tearaway ties. They've got pistols on their hips. And they've also got what looks like an X-ray arch and like a bag scanning X-ray machine. And like as you walk across, like one of them like quite clearly closes the book he was reading in AR, stands up. He's a little paunchy, sort of like walks over to you as you walk in the door. And like he comes to stand beside like the X-ray arch, the metal detector arch, and like waiting for the three of you to come over.
Yeah. I will walk on up. I will hold out my like little identification badge. Be like, I'm here. I spoke to Julian on the phone. I'm here to collect some furniture.
Okay, is this your real identification? Are you trying to press pass?
Yep. Or start the process at least of press passing.
Excellent. So if you reveal your public persona to fast hook your way in. Excellent. So the rent-a-cop like has a look. Frank Stout from. Are you like a columnist, a evening news presenter?
I'm a whatever the bosses tell me to do today.
Okay, so I think you do like going across to our on-the-scene reporter or reporting from the office's Frank Stout sort of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rent-a-cop like Frank Stout from the Trio news feeds.
Yep.
Oh, well, I don't know who Julian is, but
Andrews, give them the floor numbers.
So we're building security. The Daily Data Room has Steve, and one of them goes, "You know what? How many guys working on like 8 through 12? Half a dozen? 8?" And the guy you're talking to says, "Yeah, there's probably half a dozen or 8 security guys up there. They're on their own contract, nothing to do with us. Look, if you've talked to somebody, Mr. Stout, please just step on past and up to the 8th floor. 8th floor specifically, 9th, 10th, 11th, they need key card access, so you're going to have to talk to Julian on the 8th.
Good as gold. Thank you.
Cool. So you take intel, and
Yep.
I advance the legwork clock. It is now at 2200, which advances the action clock, which is now at 1800. Cool. So you don't even have to go through the metal detector arch or the X-ray scanner. So whatever illegal and dangerous stuff you're carrying on you, it's not a worry for now.
Cool.
So you just sort of walk around these 4 security guards, and when the guy you talk to like goes back to Steve, it's like, I talked to Mr. Stout. Like, oh, really? Really, did you? Ah. How's that going to affect my baseball scores? And the three of you just like walk up to the elevators, and it's your standard click here in AR to receive a short little ad, and then press your elevator number. Yep. So after a 10-second ad for some imitation fried meat from your local fast food diner thing, you press the 8th floor, and the elevator goes shoop, ding, 8th floor, Dalian Data Tomb. They just go shoop. And you are, yeah.
All right.
You are able to like look out over the like cubicle office floor that was once here. As you step out of the lift bank, there's a glass divider that looks a little thick and a little tough to be just glass, with a receptionist desk that is currently empty and a door into the inner offices that's standing open and unlocked. You can see, and the lights are on, there's probably 20 people in there actually, but mostly they look like orcs and humans with one troll in like laborers jumpsuits who are just like taking this down. And you can see like there's a lot of office furniture here, like they're all taking it down, moving it, stacking it up, and so on. Yeah. So, what else are you doing?
Is there any sign of servers in here?
You can see over most of the floor, there doesn't look to be like any solid hardware.
Okay.
Those must be on the key locked floors.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are there stairs?
There is, in fact, a stairwell door to one side of the lift bank.
Does it look like it has a security thing on it?
There is a keycard reader, but its like indicator light shows green.
Okay. Well, should we just... I'm inclined to just try and go up. So I'm going to head towards it.
All right. So you just sort of ignore the pile of people in the near distance and
they're all
the stairs.
Right?
None of them seem to have like paid you any attention.
Yeah.
You're, a good 10 meters away from the closest one, so
yeah.
You turn and walk up the stairs. They are concrete, they are echoey, they are lit by slightly flickering fluorescent lighting. They smell like cheap disinfectant. Real people don't use the stairs. Poor people use the stairs. And so you walk up...
Shadowrunners.
Yeah. So you walk up a flight of stairs to what you assume is the landing for the 9th floor, where you're confronted by a keycard reader showing a red indicator light.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can I hack this?
Absolutely. You can plug into this keycard reader. Is there a move for just saying...
It could be... where is it? Could just be compromised security if you wanted to do it without doing a full hacking situation.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice, easy way of doing it, because you have a direct connection, so you don't actually need to go through whatever's controlling this. So yeah, compromise security.
Okay, so it's plus mind. Good. Okay, finally. That's a 9, and I have mine, so 10.
Okay, so I just need to find the specific move that you're making. Here we go. It's compromise security.
Yep.
So gain 3 hold over the subsystem you've compromised, which is all of one keycard reader.
Yep.
And you may spend a hold to activate a security measure on that subsystem,
So I'm going to unlock it.
Yeah, cool. So it goes kathonk.
Yep.
Yeah, so Beowulf just plugs in his cyber deck to this keycard reader, which is universal data port. It goes clack, clack, and it goes ding, and the big mag lock goes ka-chonk.
Okay. Is this connected to any other? Is this connected to any other maglocks in the system or anything like that I could unlock at the same time, or is it just this one thing?
Like, you have a look through the internal logs of this keycard reader.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be connected to the host, but it's not.
Hmm.
So a lot of the security devices around here are just going to be sort of hanging free.
Right.
You just notice like some weird jury-rigged link up. Like, it's probably controlled by like somebody's comlink, which is a weird way for things to be lashed up. But in a host that's been taken offline, or at least had its hard links cut, this is...
Yeah. So this maglock would have originally been part of the
security node.
Data. Yeah, their system. Yep. Cool. Well, that's useful. I will spend my other hold to like scrub the fact that I unlocked it.
Absolutely.
I'll just jam it open.
Cool. Yep. So you've got a door that is now open on the 9th floor.
Yeah, what's on the 9th floor?
Okay, let me check. Sorry, I just had to find it where it was in my notes. Cool. You open the 9th floor, and your noses are assaulted by Freon liquid cooling used in high-power cybernetic and matrix systems.
Good.
There is the humming of electronics and the whir of cooling fans. Going...
Smells like money.
Silverbacks.
Yeah. There looks to be a decent number of them, and they're arranged in that sort of... Clearly somebody wants to have a battle station at the middle of this and like look down each of the aisles. Yeah.
Nice. Is there a central station?
From what you can see from like looking into this floor, there probably is.
Well, this might do us. Beowulf is going to try and find somewhere to kind of sit out of the way and hack directly into this and see if I can access the whole system from here.
Cool. Yeah, so you start walking towards like where the central place would be.
Mm-hmm.
But as you do so, you hear footsteps. Like, there's people walking around up here.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to kind of flatten myself up against a server bank or whatever. Are there spots in amongst the servers that I could probably, like, you know, kind of squeeze down into or something to be out of sight?
Possibly, yeah. Frank and Asher, what are you two doing?
I was thinking of...
Are you just standing in the landing of the stairwell? Are you two following Beowulf in, or...?
I was thinking of standing on the stairwell and looking like I'm furiously sending emails to somebody. Like I have, like I'm expecting a phone call or something like that. Like basically, just like I have a reason to be in this landing, and keeping a lookout on the folks who are on for Beowulf and Asher if he goes in.
Asher, what about you? What are you doing?
Do we have a sense of where those footsteps are coming from?
If you're on the landing, you can't hear them.
Oh, okay.
If you're like on the floor of the... like, if you're in the floor of the office space, then you can hear them.
I think I would have went in with Beowulf.
Okay. So the two of you are like in amongst the server racks, and you can hear some footsteps coming. Beowulf, you're looking to like hide down in a nook amongst the servers. That sounds like you're acting under pressure to me.
Sure.
And if you don't make it, Asher, you could help or interfere if you wanted to interfere for some reason.
That is a 7.
So, when you race against the clock, act while in danger, or act to avoid danger, roll cool. And unfortunately, help or interfere only gives +1, so Asher won't be able to bump this up to a 10+. So on a 7 to 9, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The MC will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. You know what's a really good ugly choice here? One of you can hide.
So there's space for one person to hide in here.
There's space for one. The other will be encountered by whoever's walking around.
All right.
And you both know this.
I look at Asher and I'm like, I'll hide and start hacking, right? Yeah, and we nod, and I fold myself down into the space and start pulling out wires to hack into the...
Does the full Ocean's 11 contortionist?
Yeah.
I'm guessing because this is so tech heavy, it's very easy for us to communicate within the team.
Oh, I've just been assuming that you've got like a chat room in AR available in your vision at all times.
Do you notify me that this is going on in there?
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can sync text each other, so...
Yeah, that's what I figured. So.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Beowulf can. Frank and Asher have to like pull out their comlinks and type with fingers. Or like type in AR.
Yeah.
You have to like swipe up your keyboard and type in midair. Anyway, yeah, so...
So I send a message to them both. I'm going to go in here, unless it doesn't work. Assume I'm going in here. Run interference. Keep them off me.
Cool. Asher, you're standing in like this dimly blue LED lit corridor of big server racks that have the smell of liquid coolant and the hum of fans as a pair of security guards like come around the corner and one of them goes, "Oi!" And the other goes, "No, oi!" And like pulls out a gun. Like clearly remembers, like this is way more of a first response than you might have been expecting. What are you doing having a gun pulled on you?
I think Asher will surrender and just let them take their time escorting me out or whatever they're going to do.
I'm going to deploy a very important GM phrase here, which is, are you sure about that?
Well, my idea was to let them get closer. Are they just going to shoot? Is that...
No. They're not opening fire. They're pointing a gun at you and saying, "Oi."
I think maybe the difference is Asher is making them think they're surrendering.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd like to bluff them into getting closer and treating you as a surrendering person.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what are you going to
do? Cast a spell.
Cool. What kind of spell?
Just a drain spell. So, I haven't actually told you this. The tags I chose for books and tall tales are combat mana and health.
Okay.
So, essentially, what I'm working with is the mana-based spells, which are all just pretty much armor-piercing, and they do drain to people.
All right. So, Let me check Shadowrun and the Sprawl to figure this out. So, cyber combat, astral combat. Right. Foci moves. Running. Is there a move for cast a spell?
Yeah.
If so, where is it?
That's the Awakened playbook.
Awakened playbook. And it is... Oh, cast a spell. There we go. Alright. You cast the spell as desired. Is there a list of spells? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out like what the spell would actually do.
I think in books and tall tales is where it's essentially you pick which tags you're using for cast a spell, and that's the part that says what they do.
Combat spells do 1 plus magic plus arcana harm. Excellent. So what's your magic stat?
2.
Okay, so you're doing 3 harm. And it has AP and is considered drain because you're using a mana spell. Right. So, you don't need to pretend to surrender. If you just like stand there, they'll accept it, so no need to fast talk. But you do need to cast the spell.
Yep. So I'm rolling mind, which is +1.
Go for it.
And I got a solid 12.
Nice.
Okay, so you cast the spell as desired. And you are throwing basically a mana bolt at the dude with the gun. I assume the one with the gun is your target?
Yep.
Cool. So
is the other one just not drawn yet? I assume he's
the other one hasn't drawn his gun. They're both sort of walking towards you, but only one's got a gun out. Asher?
Mm-hmm.
So you're aiming at the one with the gun?
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us what casting a spell looks like for Asher.
So normally the mana spells he uses are contact based, which is rather subtle, but he can also just blast a sort of... It's like a concussive force, except it only sort of rattles your brain, rather than smashing you across the room or anything. And what happens is he's raising his hands like this, and you see like a quick movement as if both of his hands are speaker cones, and as that happens, just a huge force comes out and hits the guy with the gun.
Cool. So the guy with the gun just like his head like flings backwards, like he got hit in the face with the base of the bat, and he just like falls over backwards. The other guy just like looks at his unconscious, dead, he doesn't know friend, and he's just like, and he starts fumbling for like a radio and for like a gun. Frank, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I think I've like been sneaking in. Like as soon as I got the message, I would be like sort of trying to catch up, but trying to find like an alternate path, basically to approach the guards from a different angle. And can I just be behind that guy with my taser?
Yeah, like because the two of them were so focused on Asher, you don't need to like even find a sneaky route. You can just like walk up behind them.
Yeah.
But you will absolutely need to mix it up to tase the seeking guard.
Okay.
So mix it up is roll plus meat.
Meat. My meat
And
is...
you're attempting to seize control of, I guess, the situation.
Yeah. It's 10.
So, on a 7+, you achieve your objective. So, what's the
Yay.
damage code on a taser?
I didn't write that down.
I think it's S harm.
Yeah. So you just like shove your taser in the neck of the second security guard, who like starts shuddering and then like collapses to the ground, twitching a bit.
Yeah.
And so now you're standing over one very definitely unconscious and one twitching in the throes of electrical incapacitation security guards. There doesn't seem to be any alarms going off.
This
So
isn't
what do the
great.
three of you do?
Can we take their comms? Assuming they have the type of comms
You
that can be
can
taken.
pick up their comlinks, yes.
Can we also use their own handcuffs on them? I'm assuming they have some sort of handcuffs or zip ties in their pockets.
Yeah, they absolutely have plastic zip tie sort of things. Yep.
Sweet. I would like to restrain them.
Cool. You can like take their guns off them, take their comlinks, and zip tie them to some server hardware.
Yep.
Cool. So you two are now standing over two detained, zip-tied rent-a-cops, and Beowulf is looking for a place to plug in.
Yeah. Is it? Do I find one or make one?
So since you've got access to like big server banks, you are able to make a place to plug in. Like, there's no official data jack that would be used, but you know, you've got a bit of time. You've got access to the actual wires. You can make a very unofficial data jack.
Yep, that'll do.
All right. So I guess we're going into Matrix time.
Oh yeah.
So to start it, I believe you want to jack in.
Yeah. So I jack in and I have a console cowboy move.
Excellent.
Mine to get some extra bonus stuff. So that's only 7. So I get 1 hold, which I will save for later.
Excellent. And because you've console cowboyed and jacked in, you now have access to all the Matrix moves.
Yeah.
So the first one of those is log on, I believe.
Yeah, so I have 2 spaces for programs in my deck, and I have identity protection, which is +2 stealth, and sift, which gives me a bonus for research and finding pay data.
Cool.
So that's what I've got loaded. Okay, so yeah, so
so to log in, you roll plus synth.
Yeah, let's see how we go. Man, these dice are so cold. But I've got +2, so that gets me to 7. So I'm in, but choose 1. Passive trace, ice is activated, alert is triggered, or my access is restricted. I'm going to choose passive trace because I've got all that stealth bonus anyway. So
absolutely, I'll just note that. Trace 1. So you access the Dalian Data Toons Matrix host. You log in and you drop into virtual reality. So this is not just like projections over your standard view. This is a full immersive simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice 2 things immediately. One, this is smooth. Dalian Data Tomb had some high power computing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you're looking over like an Egyptian like Valley of the Kings thing.
Nice.
And you're like in a oasis, like you're in what people who want like urban retreat spa days to feel of an oasis actually would be. Like, it's shady, it's cool. There's people of like, they've done that weird thing where they like read your geolocation and use it to present back to you like ethnically and culturally appropriate physical representations. Like, these are just like agents and programs like walking up with like trays of fruit, and one of them walks up and says, "Welcome to Daily Data Tomb. How can we serve your data storage needs today?"
All right, so my avatar in the Matrix basically looks like a kind of off-brand Conan the Barbarian, perfectly with
Excellent.
this Egyptian vibe, and it's all of the parts where my corporate wear has kind of like furs and leathers are also the parts where Conan the Barbarian, fake Conan, has furs and leathers. So I'll say, give me a system map, and I want to try and get a sense of what's around digitally.
It's just the host serving you the answer to the request, but it's presented as another like generically attractive person walking up with a scroll, and they go shroom, and there's like a papyrus map like you'd get in like a Tomb Raider video game, and it's like reception and oasis area. Then there's like data storages, and it's like note secure, 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 secure.
And everywhere else is secure.
Like everything but where you're standing is secure.
Yep.
There is Daily and Data Tomb overseers, Daily and Data Tomb infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want two things while I'm in here. I want to find a place where I can spoof any cameras that are around and to make it look like somebody else broke in here. And then I want a database situation where I can get the information that we need.
All right. So security cameras are probably going to be attached to the oversight and security node.
Mm-hmm.
And the databases, well, the data you're looking for is in one of them, and there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
It looks like there's a node per client.
Interesting. And don't necessarily have a clue about that, do we? Well, let me sort out the building security situation. No, I'll try and find the data first. It's more fun to do that. So is there going to... Can I get to like a root directory or something where I can potentially search through all of them to see which one I need to go to? Or am I going to have to go to each one individually?
So that would be the infrastructure node.
Cool. I'll go there.
That's secure.
Yeah, well, I will try and hack in.
All right. So what move is it to hack into a secure node?
It would be, well, I mean, probably, well, compromise security, I guess, when you attempt to compromise a subsystem's security.
Yeah, it is actually. Yep, go for it.
Yeah, compromise security is the hacking the things in the matrix, and then manipulate systems is the hacking the things that are represented in the matrix but are actually in the real world, basically.
Awesome.
All right, so I'll try and get in there then. So I will attempt to compromise security, which is mind, which oh, cool, that's an 11. Yeah, so what does the security, the infrastructure area look like?
The infrastructure area, so you'd like to move into the secure area.
Mm-hmm.
The infrastructure area looks like an embalmist's workshop. So there's like a big Anubis standing in the corner, like 9 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
And like its eyes watch you as you walk in. And you're like, that's probably ice.
Yeah.
There's like canoptic jars,
Mm-hmm.
which are all like doing that weird flickering where it's like, here is the VR representation now. Like, here's the standard access icon.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of that. There's like a embalmist's table, thankfully clear of any work in progress. And this is like a workspace desktop for controlling the root node.
Okay. All right. So I've got 3 hold. I want to. Oh yeah, I'll go over to that embalmer station. So what I want to do is I want to take control of the cameras, scrub us coming in, and I want to leave evidence that the data liberators outside actually came in.
Okay. That is not the node you're in.
Okay.
So this node is for the. I would like to search all the databases.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was going to do that first. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I want
Yes.
to. Sorry. Yes, let me do that first. So I search all the databases.
All right.
Yeah.
That's probably just a straight up assess move.
Research.
Yeah, research works.
All right, and I have my data sifting program.
Yep.
That's okay. I should have just been in the matrix the whole time. That's 12.
So cool. So you take intel. I will answer your question. I guess what the question is: where would I find the?
Yeah, where do I find it?
Yep. Yeah. So. I didn't write down like what the particular thing would be, but I'm going to say the Mediterranean Shipping Co. database holds the data which is the recipient of that particular shipping order. So you're now like, if I go into that database node, I can just pull out the bit of data.
Perfect. Follow-up research question.
Yeah, go for it.
Where would I find some extra juicy data that I can sell on the side?
Ooh. So you search through, and there's like you notice the name of like an Evo subsidiary in like one of the databases, and you're like, oh, that's like BioWare research. That's a BioWare research facility. I bet they've got good data on them.
I bet they do.
Yeah, it's like Evo Geneware.
Perfect. All right. Well, first, I guess I'll go to the database with the Mediterranean shipping thing, the thing that we're actually here for, and I will get that.
Okay, cool. So as you're doing that, Frank and Asher, you're standing nearby to where Beowulf is, and like all this extra matrix activity has like caused a bunch of the servers to go and like spin up a lot louder. And you hear like more footsteps. But these aren't like the booted steps of like somebody, of like a corporate security guard. But this is lighter steps, and there seem to only be like one set of them. If somebody says, Hey, are you two on the rounds again? Are you touching my electronics? Frank, Asher, what are you two doing?
Yeah. Is it the same voice as I talked to on the phone?
No. It's a woman's voice, but it's not the same voice, no.
In that case,
I could try summoning a spirit here to use a hold to cast a spell related to its domain to make the area quieter, though it might be a bit late for that.
I mean, you could try. You'd have to do it pretty quickly. Who knows what could happen?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have a spirit summoned already, assuming I get some good hold from it. So let's do that.
Cool. You reach out for the mana to start summoning a spirit, and you realize with a horrible sense of oh fuck that you're inside a ward, a mana barrier that prevents you from summoning spirits, and that astral entities such as spirits and spells can't cross. This is probably what blew up your spirit earlier, and you're sort of hit with a boomf of drain is like you take the backlash from pulling on that energy and like nothing coming. Frank, you see Asher like step back and take a stumble as this woman walks around the corner to like look at you directly. She's got like cybernetic. She's got one cybernetic arm. She's got like one big oversized cyber eye with like big flashy LEDs off it. She's got like sloppy Doc Martens and fishnets. Like everything about her screams like punk, but like there's a big AR badge that like it's the name of like some corporate liquidating matrix security outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at you and Ash is stumbling and she goes, "Oh shit." And like her AR just goes flunk flunk. Like she's fast in the matrix and she's already done something. Now what?
I would like to quickly turn on my recording.
You haven't stopped.
Hey?
You haven't stopped.
Oh, well then. I had intended to just take a quick scan of those guys outside, but that's fine. And I would like to walk out to her with my hand outstretched for a handshake. And say, hello. Your name is...
She reaches down to her hip, pulls out a pistol, and she's just got like by her side at her hip. And she like holds out her hands and says, "I'm Calculatrix. Knight Errant have already been summoned, and the ice in the Matrix has already been activated."
Fast talking is hard.
At this point, I'll message Beowulf to get out
Yeah,
now.
you're probably like coming back to your senses after getting hit with that stone. You can absolutely send that message. Beowulf, you see a message pop up like in an AR display inside VR, being like, "Get out now." But as it pops up, that like 8 foot tall Anubis like steps off the wall with its like big crook staffy thing. And
Here
like
we go.
starts walking to you.
Conan's big two-handed sword comes off the back.
Excellent.
All right, fucker.
Absolutely. You're gonna melt ice on this thing.
I absolutely am.
You should definitely roll to melt some ice.
Okay. No, okay, I don't need to do that. Where is it? This is edge, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, edge to melt ice.
All right, so that is an 8.
So, on an 8, you evade, destroy, or temporarily disable the system, your choice. The system successfully executes a routine before you can disable it. Oh no.
Okay. So I will I'll destroy it. I'm a Dragon Slayer, man.
You're gonna just like pull out your Conan sword and chop an 8 foot tall Anubis in half.
Right down the sort of diagonally across the middle. Blue sparks flying. Pixels going everywhere.
Cool.
What kind of routine is it going to execute on me?
As you like go to like slash it, the Anubis like just points out a finger and says, "You will be judged before." It lays out like an Egyptian, like your soul will be judged against a feather and found wanting. As you cut it in half, and you realize, not only has Calculatrix called Knight Errant, this ice has also called Knight Errant. And so your action clock is now at 2200.
Okay.
And for those of us who aren't super familiar with the Sprawl, what happens at 2200?
It's on a mission per mission basis as to what happens at 2200. But the clock goes 2200, 2300, 0 hours, midnight.
Yep.
And that's very, very bad.
Right.
Yeah, at 0 hours, the mission fails, and we have to describe how we get out or how we die.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, at least it didn't trace me. So.
Yeah, well, it can't actually trace you. Oh, trace an intruder's location is trace +2, but what's it going to do? Find out that you're on site already? Yeah. So yeah, Calculatrix like shakes your hand and smiles nicely at you, Frank.
Cool. Can I get an assessment of her from?
Oh, you want to like do a
This brief
quick
interaction?
read what the heck this person's about? Absolutely.
Yes,
This sounds
please.
great.
So plus edge.
Yes, this is assess. So roll plus edge. What have you got?
5.
Cool. So you're shaking her hand and you're trying to read her up and down, and she just like smiles at you as you realize that she's a bit of an open book, but she's also sweeping your leg, and you land face down with one hand like twisted up behind your back, and like her other hand's got that pistol like pointing at the back of your head. Now Frank's face down on the ground at gunpoint from this Calculatrix woman. What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not going to summon a spirit, but the blast worked before, so let's try it again.
Absolutely. You want to like throw a mana bolt at Calculatrix?
Yep.
Go for it.
So that is barely a 7.
Alright, so on a 7 to 9, you cast the spell but choose 2 of the 3. You can't handle the flow of mana and suffer drain. You lost control of the mojo as someone or thing got tangled up in magic along with your intended target, or you draw unwanted attention to yourself or leave your signature all over.
It's the first 2. I think we know who got tangled up with the target.
Yeah, it's definitely Frank. Okay, so Frank, you take 3 drain harm. So fill in the first 3 sections of your harm clock.
Yep.
And you also make the harm move. So that's roll 2d6 plus 3.
Cool. So I get a -1 forward making the harm move.
Sure.
Because I am an orc.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
What's
the
so do I roll +3?
No, so because you have -1 forward, because you're an orc, you roll +2.
+2, right, yeah.
You want low.
And you want low, yes.
9.
7 to 9, the MC will choose one. You lose your footing, you lose grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to, or someone gets the drop on you.
I feel like I was already in all of those situations.
A little bit.
I think she literally drops on him, right?
No. Because Calculatrix is going to take 3 harm drain, and that's going to knock her out. So she's not problem at the moment. Oh, I've got a terrible idea. Frank, as you get hit with this and drop, like you accidentally like click through several submenus and you activate the live stream in your cyber eyes.
Live stream of the floor.
As you like push yourself up off the floor to show you, you know, in the middle of an illegal cyber run, is now being live streamed, not just recorded.
Yep.
And you don't notice.
Sick.
Yeah. So, Asher, you take a drain and also roll the harm move.
Yeah, cool. I'm sure glad that I didn't draw unwanted attention to myself.
I had a completely different option from wanted attention that would have come down. Pre-planned, even.
Where are the rules for the harm moves?
So the harm move is just roll +1.
+1?
+1
Okay.
because you took one harm.
So that is 8.
8. So, yeah. You lose your footing, you lose grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to, or someone gets the drop on you. I think you just lose track of someone or something you're attending to, which will be calculatrix. Like, you hit it with this blast, and you're drained, and, like, you're pretty sure you knocked her out, but you can't actually see where she went. Like,
Well, it's not a problem then. Out of sight, out of mind.
Great answer. Talking of out of sight, out of mind, Beowulf, you've just chopped an ubis in half.
We just switch back to the epic poetry scene.
Well, it's more like Conan the Barbarian does Egypt.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, that problem's solved. I'm not getting out of this. Like, I flick aside that message telling me to bail out. I'm on the trail of the secrets of the pyramids. So I'm heading off to the Mediterranean Shipping Company database to get file 81218451.
That's cool. Because you're moving from root node to database, that's not actually a secure move, so you just go zoop.
Mm-hmm.
The system is like, would you like to take the interactive tour of our rendering of the Tomb of the Kings? And you're like, no. And you're like, and you just turn up in front of what looks like a Tomb of the King's tomb. You, like, your Matrix avatar takes the tomb cover, and it probably looks like it weighs a couple of tons, like it's a big thing of stone, and you just like slide it across like a branch slider.
Yeah, swipe.
And inside is like this big wall of scrolls, and one of them's like pulsing because it's like contextually sensitive. The file you're after because you know it's here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, I have high speed on my neural interface, so I suck it down.
You just go thump, thump.
Yep.
Yeah, like you can transit this fast. Do you want to go steal from Evo as well?
I absolutely do. Yep, head to the next tomb.
Cool. So you're just like the Flash ultra speed. You leave a trail in the air.
Flick.
Absolutely.
No to the tour. Suck it down.
Cool. Yeah. So you like swing right past the what was I? Yeah, you swing right to the Evo subsidiary, and you like rock up in front of it. You swipe it open. Inside, you see this tomb doesn't have like the standard daily and data tomb corporate theming of like an Egyptian tomb.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is like an Apple store does the Matrix. So like white shiny floors and white plastic and chrome. Mm-hmm. And you can see like two like I am robot androids looking at you with like red LEDs in their faces.
Mm-hmm.
As clearly the ice for the entire server is up and running, and this database has some.
Mm. All right. Does it? It doesn't know I'm here yet.
Oh, it absolutely knows you're here.
Oh, okay.
It's active, and you've just walked in front of it.
All right. Well,
But you get because you're high speed.
yeah. I guess it's time for the sword again then.
All right.
Yeah. So I will
Go to melt some ice.
Let's do this again. You shiny white corporate drones. Oh, I love it. That's 10 plus whatever my stat is, age 11.
Absolutely. So you cut the first android in half, but the second one, as you're fighting the first, like reaches out and like leaves a handprint on you, and that's Trace.
All right.
And you're like, what? Oh, this isn't like Daily Data Tomb is tracing you. This is Evo is tracing you. This is much more dangerous.
So my total stealth score, by the way, is 4. So
and you're at 3 Trace.
I'm at 3 Trace. Okay, cool. Glad I have that identity protection program running.
So I need to figure out, well, yeah, so if you want to try and cut up the other Evo ice and you get a mixed success, it will probably try and trace you again, which means Evo will know where you are.
Well, I think I have to because I can't do anything here while this... I want this money, man. I want my money.
Go for it.
Cutting it down. Oh, that's not so good. That's a mixed success. I get a 7.
All right. Yeah. So that is going to go to Trace 5.
I am going to spend my Icebreaker move. I have my third move, my optional one, is Icebreaker. You know how to disable ice quickly and quietly. Once per matrix run, you may cancel a routine executed against you, your deck, or your program. So I want to cancel that trace routine.
Cool. So like it leaves a second handprint on you, and you're just like foot,
Yep.
brushed off, and it turns into chalk dust.
Nice.
So I don't create a corporate clock for Evo.
I'm glad I spent that on I spent it on that, not the one that was that raised the corporate raised the action clock. C'est la vie.
That's cool. Yeah, so now you're in this database, you can absolutely search for pay data.
All right. So do I have to roll it again? I probably do, don't I? Because I haven't.
Yeah, it's just research.
Yep, cool. And I have a +1 from my sifting program, and it is mine, so that's an 8.
Okay, on a hit, you find something hot that you can sell. Yeah. So, who wants to make up something probably illegal, very interesting, and related to geneware or biohacking?
The chat have anything?
Yeah, chat. What secrets has he found? Chat's slow.
What's illegal in Shadowrun? Like if you're a corporation?
Almost nothing. Evo is extraterritorial. KFC recipe. No. I think it is detailed specifications for the capabilities of the next round of gene therapy augmentations.
Cool.
So that's very important, like corporate espionage information.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Well, I suck it down my data storage neural interface that is high speed and high capacity. So bring it on.
Absolutely. That's great. Cool. So now you've got both of those. Anything else you want to do in the Matrix? I was just going to let you think about it while we cut back to Asher and Frank. You are standing in a data center near 2 zip-tied corpsec guards with one absent, probably spider, well, calculatrix, whatever she was, out of way. What are you two doing?
I want to just get out of here, but I am not likely to leave Beowulf behind.
So, you're waiting, or are you taking more drastic action?
I think I'm going to pick Beowulf again with like a the private cops are on their way. What are their names? Night Errant are on their way. We need to leave the building.
All right. Asher, what about you? How are you feeling? What are you planning on doing?
I am wondering if there is a way to. Oh, I guess it would be a sense. I think trying to figure out where this magic barrier starts and ends, because I want to
Wait.
get us a different exit.
Yeah, so a sense. You can absolutely roll plus edge.
I have no idea what my edge is. Oh, that's +1. That's okay.
Remember,
Hopefully.
people, I believe this team has 3 intel floating about.
Yeah, I've got 2.
I've got 2.
Okay, 4.
We've got 4.
You can just reach into your bag of I know this. But what have you rolled there, Asher?
A good old 6.
Oh my god.
Frank, do you want to help Asher?
I would like some help.
I don't have a bond with Asher. Does that matter?
You don't have
roll
links with Asher. You can still roll. You're just rolling at +0.
Okay, yeah.
The dice hate
How
you
do I
people.
help with this? Can I help by just being like, I have this intel?
That would be produce intel. That'd be not quite what we're after.
Okay.
You could help Asher by saying, hey, I saw some security runes here and here on the way past.
Okay, yeah.
Because remember, you were recording all of this.
Ah, true. True. Can I, when I scrub back at my footage to see the security runes, notice that I'm live streaming?
Yeah. How about we roll the help or interfere move, and we'll see what horribleness comes out of that. So that's 36 flat.
Oh my god.
Snake eyes.
You people. Oh, we're so bad when we're outside of the Matrix.
Ah!
Hey, Frank, who hates you? Like, which of the megacorps did we establish in your backstory hates you?
We established that
Was it Ares?
It's Ares.
my own bosses
Right.
already have me basically on a watch list, and they also own me.
Right. So I'm advancing the Ares macro technology corporate clock from 2100 to 2200. As you realize for the start that your live stream currently has 8.5 thousand viewers.
And they're all Ares bots.
No, they're not all Ares bots. It's somebody was like, oh shit, Shadowrun live stream. Oh wow, live, not like an after video. Maybe we'll see this guy get geeked.
Oh god.
Oh shit, it's Frank Stout, the reporter.
I'm starting to hope they see me get gagged.
Easier than that meeting with your boss.
Can I cut the stream?
No, not yet. Asher. So, despite Frank not actually being able to help you, like showing you the security runes, lets you realize that the ward probably covers the 4 floors of the Daemon Data Tomb, but it's not just a ward. It's a ward with a corporate mage security contract attached to it, and if you like hit it and make it wobble or anything, probably a mage will like astrally project in to mess your day up. So take from that what you will. If you want to go fight a mage in Magic Land, do it. It'll be awesome.
I do not want to do that.
So, Frank, you can cut the live stream if you want, but like,
At this point, I kind of want to see if I can try and spin it.
ooh, cool. This sounds like you're fast talking. What are you going to do?
I'm going to whisper like I'm confiding secrets with the live stream.
Sure.
And I'm going to be like, good evening, viewers. I'm here with, I'm here in the belly of, this organization. Sorry, Jack's brain is fried.
Daily and Data Tune.
In the belly of Daily and Data Tune, and I am this close to uncovering the secrets of just where their data is going while they are liquidating. What is unknown to their customers is who is buying this data and where is that data going as it's being sold. Now, many of these customers will have been insured against just this scenario. However, I have inside information.
I love it. Okay, so
I go along that sort of route.
do you have a directive?
Sorry?
What are your directives again?
My directives are here. Compassionate, when you put your compassion for the powerless ahead of the mission, mark experience, and network when your membership in your day job hinders the mission, mark experience.
Yeah, mark experience for network. I just want to note that that's happened. Cool.
Oh, I've frozen.
Also, yeah.
It's a good laughing action shot, though.
Okay, so
Look at me.
2 points. One, I realized that you didn't roll nose for a story at the start of a mission.
Oh.
Oh, well. However, this sounds like you've gone live and on air. When you go live from the scene and broadcast a stream to avoid harm and expose your target, roll edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That is a 12.
Nice.
On a 10 plus, you get the shot you want and are escorted to a position of safety. So when Knight Errant turns up, they're going to be like, Frank Stout? Yep. Please come out of the building with us. And you're just going to be walked out to the street and let go. No record, no nothing.
Okay. Hi, I'm back.
That's great. Unfortunately, that's not going to extend to Asher or Beowulf. But you're going to be escorted out the moment, like, the cops turn up. You're good.
Will that, to a degree, distract the cops?
They'll be busy. Like, at least some of them will be busy escorting you out. You don't know how many cops are coming.
I was wondering if the stream might actually affect that group outside.
Yeah, I was going to
Data Liberators.
Mm.
Ooh.
That's my next plan, actually. Is can I spend intel to have sent a little expert system off to trace back Frank's live stream and incriminate the Data Liberators, so that when Knight Errant turns up, they think the Data Liberators are in on it, and that they're armed and dangerous.
So you would like to reveal knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
to implicate the data liberators are stealing all the Dalian data tomb's data.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so you spend intel.
Yep. Spent one of my 2 intel.
And you take +1 forward to exploit the opportunity. And the exploitation that you're going to need to do is you are going to need to go to the security subsystem and edit the camera files.
Okay. Then that is where I am heading next.
Cool. Are you out of compromised security hold?
I think I spent 2 before. I don't. Oh, I still have my console cowboy hold.
Oh,
So I can spend that to increase my hold over compromised security by 1. So I will do that so that I definitely have.
So you definitely have hold of the security node, which you can use to edit the camera files.
Sweet.
Yep. So you walk into the security node of the Dalian data tomb. So you leave the Valley of the Kings.
Yep.
You zip along the floor of the valley like the Flash, and you walk into this. It's not like an embalming workshop, but it's like an Egyptian barracks. And there's just lines of soldiers who look like they're standing perfectly to attention, but asleep in Bronze Age shields and kopeshes and so on.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, that's a lot of ice routines that are dormant. And you flick one and it doesn't react, and you're like, oh, these are properly shut down. They're not even just not reacting to you, they're shut down.
Yep.
But in this barracks, there's a desk, and because cyberpunk matrix theming has specific requirements, behind this desk, if you sat down at this desk, you'd see 8 papyrus scrolls floating in mid-air, all extended out, as if somebody's got a monitor battle station of security feeds, but projected on papyrus scrolls inside the offices of an Egyptian barracks. Yeah. Perfect.
So I'll sit myself behind the desk, and I'll just start pulling the photos of those people, the data liberators, from Frank's feed, and flicking them onto the Knight Errant,
Cool.
These people are implicated in this crime that you're coming to respond to list.
Cool. So you take one of these security camera feed monitors down by pulling the scroll off and putting it on the workspace, and picking up a quill and starting to draw.
Yep.
Awesome. Asher, are you taking anything? Beowulf still hasn't stood up yet.
I'll send a message as well. Almost done. Just fixing the security issue. Fixing the response issue. Security response issue.
All right. Asher?
I guess I'm going to trust him with that. Asher's very... he's not keen to forcibly jack out anyone because...
dump shock.
Yeah, he has a history with a friend who suffered from extreme dump shock. He doesn't want to wait around for Beowulf because he said get out now, and Beowulf's clearly not doing that.
Is Asher splitting?
I don't think so.
Is Asher preparing some shenanigans?
I don't have any shenanigans to prepare.
You absolutely
bring flashback.
do. You absolutely do. You could assess the situation, which would give you hold that you can then use when Knight Errant turns up.
Yeah,
that sounds good. That's Edge?
Yeah, it is Edge.
Okay. So that is a 9.
So you gain 1 hold. So in the ensuing action, you can ask one of those questions and you take +1 forward when acting on the answer. And you don't have to choose the question now. Assess is great. Cool.
Mel is yelling at us from the chat to spend the intel as well.
Yeah.
I got one more intel that I'm going to spend, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so I think make more harm moves. Maybe.
No, I'm
Yeah.
already at 3 harm.
So, although your connection is high speed, you don't have like high speed media editing, Beowulf.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Frank, you're standing probably the one closest to the stairs when you hear the elevator go ding, and you hear the sound of running boots, like chomp, 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 chomp. You've got like a handful of seconds before whoever this is turns up.
Oh, this might be a long shot. If I'm going to be escorted out, can I... Like, if I'm safe because of who I am, can I spend some intel somehow? I don't know how it would spend, but to basically go, these guys are part of my official team. Like, these are part of the investigation. These guys are part of the report.
So this is going to be real sorry for you, but that would be produce equipment. If you had gear metacurrency, you could pull out like bona fides and certificates.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Reveal intel is much more like, I know a second way out that the cops haven't covered.
Well, can I know a second way out that the cops haven't covered?
That one.
Of course you can. Yeah.
Yeah. I will do that.
So you can just turn to Asher and be like, quick, the back stairs.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be for a fire safety compliance.
Fire safety compliance in Shadowrun.
You know.
The fire service will sell you fire insurance, then hire Shadowrunners to burn down your building, then deny the insurance claim.
Yeah, okay.
But if it's your own data, then they might protect it.
Yeah, so you can absolutely know a back entrance.
Yeah.
So you point Asher to it, and it's like over there. It's like secondary stairs. If you break for it now, take Beowulf with you. Beowulf, you're just like finishing up the edits.
Yep.
And now it's time to leave.
And plot check out. And just sort of like calmly unfold myself from the place where I was.
Are you used to folding yourself up while going into the Matrix, or are you like sore and stiff?
I'm thinking I'm a little sore and stiff, but I'm not like completely unused to it. Sometimes you've just got to hide for a while to do things, especially if you're the kind of person like Beowulf is, who, you know, faffs about doing all sorts of side jobs while they're in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Frank, you hear, hey, I got an unconscious one here. And you've got like seconds before they turn up to you. Asher, Beowulf.
Yeah, so while Beowulf's calmly unfolding himself, Asher has him by the arm and is not calmly dragging him to the stairs.
Jeez, man, I gotta get my cord folded away.
Yeah, okay, so that is absolutely acting under pressure to basically extract Beowulf. Beowulf.
I will help by running with my legs while folding cords with my hands.
That checks out. So that's plus cool.
Yep, plus cool to be cool.
Stats again. That's 0. This will go well.
Are you getting plus
7.
and a bonus from me, but it's not going to be enough to get you anything else.
Yeah, but if you roll a
Stumble,
miss, bad
hesitate,
things
or
could happen.
flinch.
Yeah. So you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The MC will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice.
And I got a 10, by the way, so I'm not implicated.
Awesome. Hey, Asher. You know what we mentioned that you had a string of at the very start of this mission?
Yeah.
Flashbang grenades.
They come out.
So if you throw it... So here's your hard bargain. If you throw out some flashbang grenades to cover you escaping into the stairwell here, you and Beowulf are going to be clean into the stairwell. The price is that the cops are definitely going to escalate their reaction to you if you encounter more of them.
I established that I didn't go back to grab my flashbang grenades, so I don't have them.
Oh, that's sad.
You don't even just have, like, one hanging out?
Like,
Pocket flashbang.
Yeah, just, like, on a keyring or something.
okay. Cool.
Tucked into the drapery.
Okay. Same hard bargain, but you throw some magic spells in their general direction. You don't need to roll it. It's just throw some fireballs or some shit over your shoulder.
So we get away, but then everything's escalated.
You get away cleanly into the stairwell, but if you meet more Knight Errant, their reactions to you are going to be more escalated, yes. That's the hard bargain.
Okay, I guess we'll go with that.
It's a one shot. How much worse can it get?
I haven't brought out the cyber ninjas yet.
Horizon saw the stream and they're just waiting outside.
Lothway's just like standing at the bottom of the stairs in a suit going, "You're late." So you just like throw some random fireballs over your shoulders. So there's like Hollywood gasoline fireball explosions going off.
Love it.
They're sort of just like pwomphs, pwomphs. And Frank, you get this epic live stream recording of like two indistinguishable shadowy figures that could possibly be data liberators. Like fireballs and explosions on the servers as like the first Knight Errant like gets up to you and like three more go running past but like shield their faces from the heat. It goes up to you and says, "Frank, shout. We're Knight Errant. Serve and protect."
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming.
It looks like you've uncovered some heavy gang activity in this area, and pacification operations are about to be engaged. Can you please come with us?
Of course, of course, of course.
Yeah. And like one of the cops like just basically like calmly walks you over and he like presses the button for the elevator. Says, "You know, my kids really like it when you're on the Tridio." He's an orc as well, and so his kids are like, it's good to see positive role models in the orcish community.
Oh, you know, I do what I can.
Thanks. Can I get an autograph?
Of course.
Cool.
Just,
So you autograph this like cop's notebook.
Somehow it's funnier that it's Knight Errant because they essentially wear like full plate mail. And the crappy white plastic sort of version of full plate mail.
Yeah. It is quite funny. So Asher, you and Beowulf are in the stairwell. You're on the 9th floor. What's the plan? Is it run down the stairs and out?
Yep.
I think if we can... Wait, how many floors are there on this building?
We were on the
50.
9th.
Floor? Okay. So
There's 50, by the way. You could go up.
Yeah, if we can get to 13th floor, we'll be outside of the magic barrier.
If you go to the 7th or 12th floor, you'll be outside the mana barrier, yes.
Why would we go up to get out of it? Do you have a helicopter planned?
Well, I was just going to summon a spirit and hope it can take us away.
That is awesome. Yes, you can get a spirit to fly you out.
That would be pretty cool.
Big Shadowrun shit.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Okay. It also has the advantage of the cops don't expect it.
It's true.
So, you start running up the stairs, and then you realize that you are a poor mage and a nerd. So, after 2 flights, you start walking.
Yeah, I got the stitch.
Like, you're not slow, but you walk up. Are you walking up to like the 13th floor, or are you going all the way to the roof?
That's all.
Walk all the way to the
Yeah, you've
Just
got the
to be more
stitch. You want
tired.
to walk 25 more floors.
It is more cinematic.
It is.
It's actually 41.
41. We should have taken the elevator.
I assume we don't go all the way to the roof.
Can I give him like an can I quickly download an informational an inspirational speech, like a kind of like Rocky or something?
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta keep running, man. Oh, it's the just do it. Don't be how does it go? Oh man, the
Beowulf.
Shia LaBeouf inspirational. Just do it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, just do it, Nike. And I'm
No.
a big box of terms and conditions pops up, and it's like, in order to use the phrase "just do it" in a motivational sense, is determined by your cyber connection emotional analysis. You must pay 2 new yen.
Close.
So, yeah, so you get the Shire whatever, and you do it. You can stop before the roof. You just need to find like a window to get out, I guess. So we will go to like 5 minutes later when Frank is being like walked out of the building, and you're out. Like, the cop goes, "Thank you for your investigative reporting, Mr. Stout."
Thank you very much.
Like, you're basically dropped off across the road as the orc knight errant like turns back and like walks back over to what is actually now turning out to be a relatively sizable police cordon. There's like cops with the blues and reds going. There's a bunch of cops standing around drinking soy calf. Like, there's not quite like klaxons going off throughout the building, but there's probably like 20 cops starting to form up a decent perimeter.
Can I like splice into my live stream a little bit of the footage I got way earlier of the data liberators standing around and be like, now this cordon is likely to do with the data liberators who are also on site trying to get in on the shady dealings that were happening at at the tomb.
Okay, so as you do that, one of the cops who was clearly watching your live stream goes, "Hey, it's them!" And like 5 cops like look at like the data liberators who are still standing around who have no bloody
I
idea.
thought they would have scattered.
No, they're just like watching because they're like, fuck it, it's not our problem. They're just like standing around watching it because it's like free entertainment. 5 of the cops go, "It's them!" And then the cops like start running over and the data liberators go, "Ah!" and start scattering.
Well, they
God's
should have
like,
fucking scattered when the cops showed up. Fucking dumb punks.
They're not the smartest.
cops don't, gangs don't run from cops because they haven't done shit.
Well,
It's not profitable to arrest gang members, so they don't. It's like anti-police brutality. There's no profit motive in discrimination. So, the data liberators get chased off as a couple of the cops go running after them. And on the 13th or 14th floor, we find Asher and Beowulf, who are taking a bit of a breather. But Asher, you're pretty certain you passed the Romana barrier a couple of floors ago, so you should be in the clear.
Yeah, so the hold I had from the ascents,
Yep. You can use
where
it to
can I
ask
get
me
the
a
most
question.
advantage is the right question for the situation.
Can you get the most advantage? So you've been watching the who's on which floor thing as you go up, and you know that the 14th floor, the one you've stopped at, happens to be currently unoccupied, and the key reader is showing blue, it's just not even armed, the key card reader. So you could just walk in here, smash out a window, and flip off. You'll need to summon a spirit, but because of the assess, you're going to get +1 forward to summoning it.
Do
Yeah,
it.
so I'll jump in and do that now.
I believe in you, Asher.
Awesome. Let's summon a
Thanks for
spirit.
taking a round of waiting.
That is 8. Wait, 7.
Including the +1 forward?
Oh, it's 8 with the forward, yeah.
Awesome. So you rolled plus style +1 and got 8. You take drain. So take another point of harm. Roll the harm move, mostly because the chat has been screaming for more harm moves.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Okay, 7 on harm move is... Lose your footing, lose grip on whatever you're holding, lose track on someone or something you're attending to, or someone gets the drop on you. How much do we want that security mage to turn up? Okay.
Well, I mean, we could be flying away from here in a hail of bullets.
I don't think a hail of bullets.
Hail of mana bullets?
Kind of. Yeah, I think
It
you
could
lose
be, what's her name? Calculatrix, who
Calculatrix.
disappeared before.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. I think we just see Frank's view from across the road. As Calculatrix is walked out by Knight Errant, and she's clearly giving a full and somewhat dissenting explanation of what the hell this is all about.
But you see, she looks like a punk, and I'm a reporter.
She has corporate credentials, despite her looks.
So does Frank.
Yeah,
That's
Frank's
pretty
fine.
faked.
Frank's fine. So, you summoned a spirit with 1 hold. For the duration of the scene, you can spend 1 hold to do any of the following. Aid you in battle, tell you a secret, scout a place, cast a spell, take physical form and animate an aspect of its domain, guard you from threats. So that feels like take physical form and animate an aspect of its domain.
Yeah. Was an ear spirit or something?
Yeah.
City spirit.
Oh, city spirit.
Yep.
I actually have 2 hold because of the spirit focus.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so you've got 2 hold. So What does like a well-summoned city spirit of the city look like for Asher?
So you know how pigeons like to sit in front of extractor fans because it's warm, and then they become the oiliest thing possible.
Yeah.
This is a pigeon-shaped sort of mass of that oil.
Nice.
The oil minus the pigeon.
Yeah, and it's huge.
Love it.
Excellent.
It's deeply uncomfortable to behold, but it's also like majestic.
Okay, so like this regal 6 foot tall oil sheen silhouette of a pigeon walks in. Greetings, summoner, for you have called upon me, and how may I aid you?
Um, just Beowulf. What's the best exit here? Do we get to a nearby rooftop or down on the street somewhere?
Rooftop's probably good. Less time flying on this thing.
Yeah. Can you fly us to that rooftop over there? Just point to one.
It is within my domain, summoner. And it does this weird thing where it goes, and it goes from like just being there to like physically manifested with weight, and it goes duh, as it like realigns its talons with the floor because it was like slightly out of alignment. It wasn't really respecting that the floor was solid, but it goes shudunk, and you could climb onto it and like ride it. You're thinking, okay, you can't put 2 people on the back of a 6 foot pigeon. No, because it's magic. It is just perfectly stable. You just like climb up and you sit behind its wings as it goes. You do not need to hold on. You cannot fall off. As it then like spreads its wings, and because it's magic, it doesn't need to obey things like aerodynamics. It just like floats up 3 feet, rotates upside down, and you find you can't actually fall off it as it rotates all the way back around to correct layout.
Now it's just playing.
It's a powerful and somewhat malicious, capricious spirit of the city. And then, like, without flapping its wings, it just like levitates forward out the window. Yep. And it just goes, because it's not flapping its wings, it's like perfectly silent apart from like the sound of the air rushing past your ears. And it continues speaking in its perfectly normal voice. And it gives a commentary like a infographic bus tour. Summoner, we are passing over 14th Street. On 14th Street, I witnessed a man get stabbed over 3 grams of kamikaze. It was a good day for the mana in this area. Like, somewhat creepy magical analysis of the city. As it's trying to be helpful to its summoner. But, like 5 minutes later, it gets you to the rooftop where you instructed it to go, and it lands. You may disembark, and then you fall through it and land. Well, no, I think Beowulf falls through it, and I think Asher was like expecting this, so lands on his feet.
Yeah. I'm start trying to get off, and I'm in it. Like, who knows? This thing is probably sticky. I end up in a.
Oh, it's not sticky.
No, okay.
It just stopped being physical.
I touch it like it's sticky. I'm like, oh.
Yep. The spirit stops being physical, and like you have this very weird no clip of it walking out of intersection of you, and it goes, "Summoner, I owe you a second service. What do you require?"
Is there anything we need right now, or anything we can do to get more out of the mission?
Don't think so. We kind of got everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
We need to get paid. But
Yeah, I think we just need to deliver the things. If we could wrap up at what we're currently doing in game and lay low for a little bit and then just deliver the stuff, deliver the data.
The distinctive dwarf who was with the Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
I would send the spirit to essentially track that person's aura to make sure that that after we do the drop off, they're actually gonna put in the cred stick as they promised.
Yeah, you could do that. You could also task the spirit with like doing a watchover of the locker and being like a stakeout for you. Either one works. I'm not sure exactly like which. It feels like this is astrally scout a place in its domain, allowing you to ask one question from the assess or research list.
Yeah.
If you choose the assess list, you get +1 forward on the getting paid roll.
Which sounds good, yeah.
So on the assess list, you could definitely say like, where can I gain the most advantage? That's an option that will give you the that's an option that I am saying will give you the outcome that you want, which is getting paid properly.
Yeah. It's that or what potential complication do I need to be wary of? Because I think the system does a thing where you can potentially have advanced corporate clocks when you get paid or something like that. Well, it's a one shot, so let's just go with
it's a one shot, so who cares?
Yeah, make sure we get paid.
Frank's life could go to shit after this.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, probably will.
So, you dispatch the pigeon oil demon to watch over locker 931 in the metro station. You meet up like at 11 p.m. that night in a all-night wings and beer joint. It's not a bar, it's a wings and beer joint. It's currently operating from 3 rooms that it has illegally rented under false credentials, and it will be gone in a week. This is your kind of place, Asher. It is awesome. Frank, you're deeply weirded out by this.
Have we put the data in the locker at this point?
Not yet. I think you're just meeting up again after all getting out.
Mm. My live stream is long over, by the way.
Yeah, like you've been.
Last time I didn't say when I ended my recording, and that bit me. So,
so I think I'm going to say what we're all thinking. That went really well.
Yeah, that was great.
No one died.
We got everything we went in for.
Yeah, I mean, could have gone with less problems, but it could have gone with way more. So,
Yeah, like nobody died, not even the corpse sec.
Mm. All right, so let's go drop off this data, and then we just wait to get paid.
yeah, he said it'd be within a day, right? I have to put it in the locker.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can go down to the metro. It's open all night.
Yep.
Subway runs every 10 minutes at midnight because it's off-peak hours. And you put a data chip with the information in the locker, and you see like a very intelligent-looking pigeon perched on the locker bank opposite. Asher, as you walk past, the pigeon winks at you.
If I ever get winked at by a pigeon, I'm going to be so unsettled.
Yeah.
It's impressive to be winked at by a pigeon because pigeons look at you directly from one side. So
Yeah,
somehow
you
you
can't tell.
knew the other eye remained open, even though it was on the other side of its head.
They can look at you with binocular vision. They're just not good at it.
Yeah. So the three of you walk out and go home and have some sleep, which is very important for those of you with drain.
And day jobs.
Yeah. That's
Day
weird.
job is drain.
I am going to take so much mental harm when I get to work tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah. Cool. So you all wake up the next morning feeling actually pretty good. You've slept off all the drain. Nobody's actually been physically injured by this, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's reputation is irrevocably damaged and nobody's like being manhunted. So all three of you wake up feeling really good about this. And you have a breakfast of whatever imitation food that you can afford. It's not like oatmeal, it's like imitation oatmeal, which is really sad.
What's it made of?
Good
Don't ask.
question.
Don't
What
ask.
happened to
No.
oats?
It chemically reclaims starches.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Seems legit.
It's legally distinct from plankton.
It's legally distinct from cardboard.
I was going to say, legally distinct from whatever comes out in the wash.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. No, so you're sitting there, you have breakfast, you go to your day job, Frank. Asher, you don't wake up until like noon when like there's a tapping at your window and you see a pigeon at the window. And the pigeon just like walks through the window.
Right.
And then it says, Summoner. A man came to the locker and took what you placed there and left a small black stick.
Okay, that's good. That's exactly what we needed. And thank you for your services. I'll rate you 5 stars.
I do not abide by the star rating. And the pigeon like flaps off. It flaps off, it just goes "Pwah," and like totally visually and physically discorporeates.
5 oil splatters out of 5.
So you're able to head down to the metro. And here we get to roll the get paid move. So the get paid move has a wonderful bonus on it, which is the number of unfilled segments on the legwork clock, which is 2. And you get +1 because of your acting on the answer to the assess roll. If you would like to roll that.
That's +3.
Yep, +3.
Who's been rolling the best? Hamish?
Me in the Matrix, but this isn't in the Matrix. I think because this is getting the plus from the pigeon assess that Vex should do it.
Vex should definitely do this.
Okay, but I feel like I've been rolling the worst.
Yeah, I think you have as well, but nevertheless, I think. Well, I'm there as well. It's the two of us
dear
there, right?
God.
And then Frank is at work. Is that right?
I rolled 3. So
Oh God.
that's
Can we help?
No. Sorry.
That would have been a total of 6.
Let me just get this straight. Your get paid roll was 3 for a total of 6.
Can I help by being there?
No, this is a one shot.
Fair enough. Excellent.
Cool. I think Frank's there just because this will be funnier.
Yeah.
Like, Frank, you've taken a 15-minute break to, like, come and, like, get the payment.
Yeah.
Okay? So the three of you are standing there around the lockers. You pull out the cred stick. You slot the cred stick into your comlink, and there's like 15,000 new yen on it. You've been paid in full by Mr. Johnson. And then you hear the sound of somebody tapping like a baseball bat against the floor. And you look around, and there's half a dozen data liberators standing there. And some of them have got like grazers. One of them's got like clearly like a bandaged up bullet wound. And one of them with the bat steps forward and says, "All right, is that cred stick or your teeth?"
I start
when the credits
mentally
roll,
counting
or-
how many teeth I have.
What are the three of you doing? You've been ambushed by the data liberators, which you set up, Frank.
I set them up as well. It was a tag team effort. It's not
True,
all
that's
free
true.
I pull out my flechette pistol.
Oh shit! Are you just shooting them?
Well, no, I'm just pulling it out right now. But I'm like now holding a gun while they're holding their baseball bats. So
Oi.
Is that going hard? Is that playing hardball?
yeah, I'm playing hardball. Yeah, I pull out my gun and say, "How about
When you get in
we keep
someone's
our
face threatening violence and you intend to carry through, so Beowulf, do you intend to shoot them with a flechette pistol?
I do. Yeah, this is like, how about I keep my teeth, my friends keep our teeth, you fuck off, and I don't shoot you like I was paid to."
Excellent, good. So you need to roll plus edge.
All right, I've got +1 edge. Come on, out of the matrix roll. It's good. Yes, 10. Okay.
So do you know what one of my favorite things about this format of move in Powered by the Apocalypse is? The NPC. Oh, the NPCs do what you want. God damn it! Because I was like, they do what you want, or they suffer the consequences.
Oh, yeah.
They choose to suffer the consequences. No, the data liberators look at the flechette pistol, look at themselves wearing denim jackets and polo shirts, make a real quick calculation that fuck no, and the one holding the bat just like backs up on you.
Can I use my last intel to be like, you are getting off lucky. We would you said you didn't share this, but maybe you have now, I don't know. But you are getting off lucky. All we did was set the cops on you. We were told to fill you with bullets.
Yeah, because intel is like you found out something that we don't necessarily know. Like we, the viewers, haven't seen why you've got that information, but somehow you managed to get the information that I had that meeting. That makes sense to me.
Oh, okay.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, that's yeah. Sorry, I missed all of that. Yeah, so you can absolutely reveal. So Frank is revealing knowledge, the knowledge that Beowulf's contact Sparky asked Beowulf to ice them all.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. So they're backing off, and they're not going to turn to immediate violence. And Frank, you're just telling them to like fuck off and get fucked and stay away.
Yeah, like don't mess with us. Don't keep getting caught in this part of town. Get better instincts about running away when the cops come. And I think this is partially my compassion thing as well. Like, I think these kids are stupid. I think they're putting themselves in harm's way when they don't need to. And I think that they need to get fucking wise.
Get him, Dad.
Full on dad speech.
Cool. I don't think that needs a roll. I think they just like look at the gun. Like some of them probably have their own guns. They just haven't got them drawn. They were like here for a beating, not a murder.
Yeah. Yep.
And they realize that they're out of their league and just like back up and just like leave. Like real, oh, we done fucked up levels of figuring out what they're up to.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. And then I turned to Frank. I'm like, how'd you know about that?
Yeah, Frank, how did you know about that?
What, you're the only guy who knows Sparky?
Checks out. By the way, I picked up some extra data while I was in there. I'll see about selling that and flick you two some as well. Good job,
Awesome.
everyone.
So, that is essentially the end of the mission. You have gotten paid. You have resolved any complications from getting paid.
Yeah.
In a standard game with the Sprawl, we would figure out how much could you staked in the get the job move, and we'd pay you back, and your characters would be richer. But since this is a one-shot, I elided over that. I would like to thank our players. I just need to check. Our players, Jack playing Frank Stout, Vix playing Asher, and Hamish playing Beowulf. I'd like to thank the technical team of David and Mel for being smooth running of the stream behind the scenes. And I'd like to say that KiwiRPG Week is excellent, and I'm glad I had this opportunity to run this game. And now we can just totally devolve into the post-stream froth.
I want to go eat some soup because I didn't have dinner. I had a muesli bar before stream, and I'm hungry.
It's got to be like legally distinct from cardboard soup, though.
It's hot.
All right.